All right. Hey, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. So just joining us today, first off, welcome everybody. This is Wednesday. I don't know if it feels like Wednesday to you, but it is Wednesday. Just say hi in the chat bar. Say your name, where you're coming in from. Oh, for those of you who don't know, I should introduce myself. My name is Kristen. Kristen, we are here with Elle Studio Wellness today. We have Katie over here to the side on the chat bar. She can help you guys out with any IT, any tech stuff. But yeah, just give a shout, say hello. We're going to use the chat bar a few times today. Anna, yes, what's up? Awesome. Okay, so we got Anna. She's practicing from her living room. Yes, Kate. Nice. I'm so happy to see you. Lisa, awesome. Lisa's at home. Yes, that's good. Good job, Lisa. I don't know what you mean. Angie, awesome. Practicing from your living room. Okay, cool. All right. So we're all joining each other from all these different places, which is awesome. I think most people are local to Milwaukee. For those of you who aren't, awesome. Welcome to the virtual studio. So we are on our, which one is this now? Sixth class? Fifth. Yeah, so we are on our fifth virtual class. Things have been getting really awesome. We love this practice. We love that so much. So many of you have been returning to this practice with us, and it's super exciting. And today we are cycling back to a topic that we focused on last week called adjusting to a new normal. So Katie was the fielder of this topic for last week. And if you didn't join us, just to kind of catch you up on what we discussed. So Katie was focusing on the words. So starting with the words of what adjusting to your new normal means. So what does adjust mean? What is new? And what is normal? And so right now, I think that it's very safe to say that we're all in a space of this constant flux. I think that all of those definitions are changing quite rapidly for us right now. Some for the better, some for the worse. You know, everybody's situation is totally, totally different. And it's important to be mindful of your flux and also mindful of just this massive global flux and the fact that it looks very different for everybody. And so what I would like everybody to do is take a minute. We're going to return back to the chat bar just so that we can speak to everybody. When you do type in the chat bar, make sure it says everyone. And I want you to take a second and think about what's been negative or challenging for you during this time. If you want to share, please feel free to share in the chat bar. You don't have to be super specific, just whatever you're comfortable with sharing, something that's been negative or challenging for you. Okay, so the uncertainty is challenging, not being able to plan, definitely. The news, absolutely. Thinking about going back to work and what that will look like, yes, definitely. Kids are becoming very dependent on me, missing their friends. Yeah, lots of transition. I work in healthcare. I still see patients up close and personal, 29 weeks pregnant. Wow. Thank you for everything you're doing right now. So for me, what's been really challenging is, oh, and we own a small business on top of it. All right. These are a lot of challenges right now. Yeah, that, I mean, again, really, our hearts are with you for that, for sure. For everybody, really, we're all, and again, we see this menagerie, right, of all the things that we're dealing with, all the differences. Yeah, we have another small business there as well, with a family, with another one on the way, absolutely. And so my challenge has been trying to find meaning in the large swaths of time that we do have. I'm so fortunate that I'm able to come here and I'm able to channel a lot of my thoughts into what we're doing here at Elle, into the virtual side of things. But on the days that I'm not here, it just feels like I'm wandering this enormous corridor with no windows, and like I just have no idea what it looks like. I'll wake up early on days I have to be somewhere. On days that I don't, I mean, to be fully honest, I woke up at 2 p.m. yesterday. That was wild. It didn't feel good, but my mind didn't have anything to click on for. So what I want us to do is take a minute, kind of settle into wherever you're seated, take a deep breath in. We've heard all of our words. Deep breath in for each other. And then take a deep breath in. Bring your mind, bring your focus back to yourself. And so on the other side of things, again, return to the chat bar. What's been positive or uplifting for you during this time? Again, this can be as personal or as broad as you feel comfortable with sharing, just something that's been more positive and more uplifting. Maybe something you didn't even expect. Community coming together. Absolutely. Being a homeschool mom. Oh, awesome. I love that that's been positive and uplifting. That's great. Time to read and study. Absolutely. And so from my perspective, the positive and the uplifting for me has been really personal. I've been finding all of the blocks, all of the almost existentialism of the moment has been helping me crush through a lot of creative stagnancy that I've been feeling for years. So I'm finding myself turning to different modalities of expression that I put to the side for a while just because I was afraid to pick it up. I was afraid of the perfectionism of it. And now that we're living in such imperfect times, I found a lot of freedom. Like, who cares if I do a crappy painting? Who cares if I make a totally dumb song? It doesn't really matter. I think that there's a lot of perfection that has crumbled to the side as the result of all of this. And a few more notes. So recognizing that I get to take time for myself, kids often included, to soothe my spirit. Oh, I love that. More video chats with friends and family than ever before. Yeah, I really hope that if anything, that's something that sticks. I would love to be able for us to physically see each other more. That is the beauty of technology. Awesome. So thank you everybody for sharing. So I'd like us to again take a deep breath in for everybody, deep breath in for the collective. And a deep breath in back to yourself. So here in Milwaukee, I believe we're all coming from local, but if you're not, here in Milwaukee, this state of stay at home, this state of shutdown of life as we know it has been going pretty strong for about 2 weeks now. And I think that I can speak for all of us in saying that those 2 weeks have felt really, really long. There's a lot of time that we're looking to fill. And as we discussed, some of that time is being filled with things that are challenging, and other aspects of that time are being filled with things that are positive and uplifting. So working and building off of the foundation that Katie built last week, we're going to travel a little deeper into this concept, adjusting to a new normal. So something that Katie said in her class last week that I love is that we're in this state of constantly shifting. Sometimes we're shifting towards the challenging, sometimes we're shifting towards the uplifting, but the point is that we are the space of origin for all of these experiences, whether they're considered positive or they're considered negative. So in Katie's words, we are riding the wave of uncertainty with confidence. And maybe our confidence is really small right now. Maybe the uncertainty is a little bit bigger than our confidence, but there's this understanding that at any given time, both of those states exist within us at all times. So that's the state that we're cultivating, this space of origin. Another quote that I love by Pema Chodron is that you are the sky, the rest is just weather. Right? So at any given point, there may be a storm, there may be a sunset. The point is that that's all happening from that same space of origin. So what I'd like us to do before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping notes. Just number one, make sure that you are on gallery, or pardon me, that you're on active speaker view. Number two, with your designated floor space or mat, just make sure that that is clear, free of debris, free of distractions. If you are somebody who is pre or postnatal or has some blood pressure concerns, make sure that you have a chair handy, and then make sure that you have either a towel or a blanket, something that you can roll up and get a nice and thick kind of surface area with. Okay, and then once you have all of those around your mat, you've got your toolkit, you've got your stuff, feel free to press play on that Spotify playlist that we sent you, or you can press play for your own music, or you can totally operate in silence. Totally up to you. And then once you find that, once you find your space, once you find your grounding, once you find your setting, take a seat. So either up in your chair or down against the ground. Maybe put a little bit of cushion underneath your seat, finding a blanket. And then start to let your eyelids settle down either halfway. And once you're comfortable, once you're settled, all the way. Feeling yourself arriving to this space. Arriving to the space of the practice and inviting yourself now into the space of this practice. And in particular, inviting this intention, this space of origin, your mind, your emotions, your body. Thinking of yourself as the sky, the rest is just weather. And over the course of your next few breaths, acclimating to this outward stillness. And we ruffled the dust of some of these thoughts. We shared with each other things that were challenging, things that were uplifting. And so instead of taking the usual meditative route where we eradicate those thoughts, I want you to just continue to invite those in. Let your mind shuffle. What's been challenging? What's been uplifting? For one thought, counter it with the opposite. Never letting yourself stay in one particular phrase or in one particular perspective. For each thought, find the counter. Just let your mind shuffle. Maybe it's not even thoughts, maybe it's feelings, maybe it's emotions, maybe it's physical sensations. With each one that your body or your mind brings up, find the counterbalance. And then take a deep breath in from the bottom of your lungs all the way up to the top. As you exhale, release the jaw. Feel the diaphragm lift and the lungs empty. Keep moving through the cycle of breath, finding the base of your lungs on the inhale, releasing completely to emptiness on the exhale. And as you begin to focus on this mechanic, the mechanism of your lungs and of your breathing, start to let that shuffling of your mind become a little bit fuzzier. And as the mechanism of your breathing gets fuller each cycle in and each cycle out, as you feel that fuzziness of your mind, this fuzziness of your thoughts, the specificity begins to blend. Again, feeling into these thoughts like weather. The space of your mind is that space of origin, that space of neutrality, the sky. As you breathe in and you feel the fullness, feeling that fullness spill out into emptiness, feeling your body embodying these two states at any given point, inhaling for fullness, spilling out to exhale into emptiness. The challenging and the uplifting begin to become just experiences. Nothing more than weather floating over the neutral space of the sky. Next breath in, reach your arms out, up and overhead. Press the thumbs together. Reach your arms up high. As you root down through the base of your spine, feel this lift all the way up through the tips of your fingers. Shoulders roll away from the ears. Find this length from the bottom of your earlobes all the way down through your neck, through the trunk of the body down towards your hips. Feel your navel reaching in towards your spine, lengthening the entire structure of your upper body. Maybe even glide your arms a little bit further back, so opening through the chest here. Continue to lengthen through your neck, reach high through the crown of your head. Moving from a state of stillness now into this state of action. Continue to reach out through your palms, pressing the palms forward as the arms slightly reach back. How is your body reacting to this? What's different about this sensation of action as opposed to the sensation of stillness? Just notice. Another deep breath in, reach a little further back as you exhale, melt at the elbows, lower your chin down and towards your chest. So you feel the back of your neck lengthen, that point where the spinal cord connects to the skull. Feeling the breath inhale and exhale through this point. I'm going to continue to breathe here. I'm going to make my way back to the mat. On your inhale, looking forward, turning to the space of the room. Just whatever you see in front of you, letting that move through your eyes, move through your gaze. If you are joining us with a chair today, again, either limited flexibility, blood pressure, or pre or postnatal, make sure that your chair is facing towards you at the top of your mat. And then grab either your blankets or your towel, and we're going to place that down against the mat, giving yourself a little bit of support here. So this is a padding for your knees. You want to make sure that there are no lumps or any creases distracting you, that your knee all the way down to your ankle is supported by this blanket. And now normally, when we move into a tabletop, our hands are directly underneath our shoulders. We're going to open that up a little bit today. So widening this tabletop pose, pointing your toes behind you, rooting down through the tops of your feet. Press into your pointer finger and your thumb. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. And again, find that point of the navel reaching in towards the spine. Open your knees just a little bit wider than your hips. Continuing to press down against the ground beneath you. Feel the ground's energy pressing back up towards you. As you breathe in and out, feel your tailbone extending back behind you. And as the shoulders continue to press down towards your hips, so lengthening the shoulders as if towards your hips, feel the crown of your head extending forward. Shoulders reach back, the palms, the knees, the hands press down, the navel reaching into the spine. Now, working with these shifting states, we're going to take our cat-cow breathing, but we're going to take it in the opposite this time. So instead of inhaling and sinking down, what we're going to do instead is inhale, so to feel your hips curling up, feel your navel curling up, feel the breath, pressing your body forward, opening your upper back, roll the shoulders forward, feel this breath pulling you towards the top of your mat. As you exhale, leading with your tailbone, sink your hips back, lengthen your arms. Again, chin in towards your chest. Start to curl the hips, inhale, so move forward, roll the torso forward all the way. As you exhale, leading with your hips, leading with your sits bones, lengthen your spine all the way back. And now keep taking this motion, rolling forward, exhale, rolling back. You'll notice, if you're somebody who practices this posture, this cat-cow breathing often, the moment you let your mind move into autopilot, you'll start to take the opposite. So this is good. This is that shifting state of neutrality, right? Instead of our mind just wandering through the motions, we're staying active with the breath, staying active with our intentions. As you move between these two states of emptiness and fullness, Feel each vertebrae of your spine curling up with the breath. Feel the breath be the impetus for each of your movements. Slowly and steadily. Rocking you forward and backwards. Forward and backwards. And then the next time that you slide back, press into the tops of your feet, press your toes towards each other. As you exhale, descend into a gentle child's pose. So whatever that looks like to you, maybe your hips are a little bit higher, maybe they're a little bit lower. Maybe your forehead rests against the ground. Maybe you're more comfortable in this sort of more active child's pose. Take a deep breath here. Release with an exhale. One more time. Deep breath in. And again, returning to our opposing breath cycles. Inhale, roll the breath forward. Roll the breath forward. Exhale, lead with the hips, lead with the tailbone, sliding it back. And now we're going to break off onto our own patterns now, our own patterns of breath, our own rhythms, moving as slowly or as in pace with your breath. Again, I mentioned last time, I may be going a lot slower than you. Don't worry about my pace. I'm just a guide. You follow your breath. Whenever your body asks for it, take a moment, settle back into that child's pose. Again, whatever that looks like to you. And then when the breath asks for it and your body is ready, then begin to move back into this rhythm. And we'll take this 5 more times using your own metronome. And at the bottom of your 5th cycle, rest in your child's pose. Again, whatever version works for you. Take a few breaths. We'll all wait for each other. And on your next inhale, returning back to our tabletop pose, this time taking the traditional pose. So hands underneath the shoulders. Now, if at any point this feels uncomfortable on your wrists, if you're somebody who does a lot of typing all day long, that tends to kind of make the wrists a little bit tender. So you can lift your wrists up by folding your mat underneath. You want to give your wrists a little bit of height, heels of your hands a little bit of height. Okay, so you can start here. If at any point you feel pinched, just know that you can adjust your mat accordingly. So again, in our tabletop pose, pointing the toes behind you, press down through the tops of your feet, press down through the center of your palms. Feel the middle knuckle of each of your fingers rooting down towards the earth. Do you feel the floor pressing back up against your hands, back up against your knees, back up against the tops of your feet? Shoulders reaching back, navel reaching in towards the spine. So this magnetized sensation, always reaching in. And the next inhale, pressing down through your hands, start to reach your left foot back. With a slight bend of your left elbow, and reach your right hand forward. In particular, feel your thumb reaching up towards the ceiling, left heel pressing back behind you. You'll start to notice immediately the negotiations that your body's making. Is it collapsing over to the right, collapsing over to the left? These tiny little things that your body is trying to do to just make things a little bit easier, but we're trying to fight that. We're finding our equilibrium in this state, in this active state. Keep pressing your left heel back, reaching your right fingertips forward. Navel continues to reach in towards the spine, finding that lift through the center of the core. Another deep breath here. As you exhale, lower just your right hand down and keep pressing your left foot back behind you. Now, if you have any knee concerns, you're going to stay with your hands against the floor. And then we'll all slowly slide our left foot off to the side, off of your mat, or just deeper into your designated floor space. As you feel your leg extend, as you exhale, feel your inner hip begin to lower down towards the ground, opening the inseam of our left leg. Again, if you have knee concerns, what we'll do is stay here. You're going to start to lower down, bending at the elbows, lowering your chest down. If you'd like to move further, moving as slowly as you can. Start to press down into your right knee, press into your left foot, bring your right hand onto your right hip, and begin to slowly, slowly, slowly press up. Press the torso high. Let your leg adjust. Inhale to reach your left hand high overhead, follow the fingertips. And now feeling this lift from your hip all the way up to the fingers now. Keep reaching your fingers high, reaching your fingers high. On the exhale, lower your left hand down. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Look over to your right arm now. Inhale to reach your right arm high. And now as you exhale, gently tilt the right hand over towards your left fingertips. Keep pressing against your left hip. Feel your left foot pressing against the ground, right knee pressing against the ground. Again, this negotiation of balance. Where do you need to back off? Where do you need to push a little further? And exhale, melting with the right elbow, lower the right arm. Bring both hands to your hips. Take a deep breath in, lengthen through the trunk of the body. As you exhale, bring both hands down. So we're all meeting with our hands down against the ground. Taking a deep breath here. As you exhale, sliding your left foot behind you, both knees against the ground. Just wave your hips from side to side. Again, returning back to this space, of neutrality, tabletop pose. Again, finding your points of contact. Press the feet against the ground, tops of the feet against the ground, knees against the ground. Feel the ground pressing back up against these anchors. Your shoulders drawing back, the lift through the core, navel reaching in towards the spine. On your next inhale, lifting your right foot, heel pressing behind you. So you press down through your right hand, inhale to lift your left hand, thumb pointing towards the ceiling. Again, notice your body wants to buckle, it wants to manipulate itself into a space of ease, so negotiate against that. Press down evenly through your left knee, down through the palm of your right hand. Keep pressing your right heel behind you, reaching your fingertips forward, thumb pressing high to the ceiling. The navel is your friend here, so keep finding that magnetization through the center of the core, finding that lift. Letting your body move how it needs to, these slight movements, these negotiations. We're working towards balance, working towards that space of neutrality. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower just your left hand, slide your right foot off to the side, so either off of your mat or against the floor. And just take a moment arriving here, letting your right hip slacken, opening the inseam of the thigh, pressing your hands down, and pressing also into your left knee, finding that equilibrium between your right foot and your left knee. Now, if we have any knee concerns, we're going to stay right here, work on bending the elbow, work on lowering the heart down. If you'd like to move into the lifted pose, take a deep breath. And then bring your left hip to your left hand to left hip. Very slowly begin to press into your right foot, press into the left knee. Feel the hips slowly reaching forward. Inhale to reach your right arm high. And finding the height through the fingertips. Feeling the balance in this pose. Pressing evenly between your left knee and your right foot. Feel this lift occur from your hips all the way up through your fingertips. Moving towards your right fingers, exhale. Your right hand to right hand, look over your left. Inhale to reach your arm high. And exhale. And find that negotiation between your knee and your foot, between the height and the depth of this pose. And melting the left arm down, bring both hands to your hips. Take a deep breath in, feel the trunk of the body lift and lengthen. As you exhale, lower the hands right underneath your shoulders. And then moving very slowly, returning both knees down underneath the hips. Finding the stability of this tabletop pose. On your inhale, tilt the tailbone under, feel the spine roll slightly forward. As you exhale, lifting through the sits bones, lifting through the tail, melting into your version of a child's pose. Whether head is lifted, head is down, whether hips are a little bit higher, hips are a little further back, listening into your body, taking the construction that feels the most comfortable. Take a deep breath in, and exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale. Returning back to tabletop pose, and then taking your time to make your way to stand. So however you need to get there, we're going to take our blanket with us. And if you have it in this square kind of forming, I want you to find more of a rectangle. So whether that's with a blanket or a towel, just find a rectangle so that there's a significant amount of height underneath. Place that off to the side. Now, if you are joining us and you have any blood pressure concerns, limited flexibility, or are pre or postnatal, we're going to do this on a chair. So what I want you to do is bring your hands onto the chair, bring your feet underneath your hips, and just pause there for a moment. So for the rest of us, we are going to assume a position that looks a lot like a frog. I'll even do this just forward. Heels are roughly together, hands are forward. If this is a little bit too much for your ankles, for your arches, what I want you to do instead is adjust to place the blanket underneath your heels so that you have some stability. Okay, you want your heels lifted, whether you're lifting your heels yourself or you have height because of a prop underneath. So take a moment, whatever works best for your body, apply that now. If you are in a chair, you're going to lower down and lift your head high. So this is kind of mimicking that frog position. Okay, so hips are all down, our head is lifted high. We'll all take a deep breath in. If you're against the floor, as you exhale, press into your heels or the blanket, keep your knees slightly bent, feel your torso rolling forward. If you're in a chair, leave the hands on the chair, let your head hang down. Okay? So we're moving between an inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Hips are down, inhale to lift, exhale to lower. So we'll start this together if you haven't already. Take a deep breath in, and exhale. Wow. Lower the hips, lift the head. Deep breath in. Exhale. Lower the hips, lift the head. Deep breath in. Exhale. Lower the hips, lift the head. Deep breath in. Exhale. And keep moving at your pace. What we're doing again is finding this state of neutrality, this state of equilibrium in between gravity. We're lifting and applying gravity here as we lift. As we exhale, we're reversing that blood flow, reversing what we're used to gravitationally. We're shifting our perspectives. If at any point you feel a little lightheaded here, just pause, take a seat, let your breath return to normal. And if you feel a little hot, that's totally normal, right? We're moving a lot of energy around with this type of breathing. And we'll do this 5 more times at your pace. Next time that you're in a forward fold, if you're against the chair, reach your feet back so that they're underneath your hips. Press your hands against the chair, let your heart melt down towards your knees. If you're off of the chair, find a lot of buoyancy in your knees and feel your torso spilling forward. Pressing into your heels. We'll all begin to slowly roll up to stand, taking your time, resisting that urge to go really, really fast. Just let your body unfold at its own pace. Resist the urge to fix your clothes, fix your hair, just arrive however you need to arrive. Slight bend of your knees as you press down through your feet. Take an inhale, reach your arms out, up and over. As you exhale, press your hands down in the center. So repositioning your feet at the top of your mat, what I'd like you to do is slide your left foot behind your right foot. Oh, nope, right foot behind your left foot. Excuse me. Slide your right foot right behind your left foot. So if you are joining us prenatal, skip this part. I want you to just keep your feet exactly as they are, hip width distance. Everybody else, right foot behind your left foot. Now, if balancing is something that you know you struggle with, this is where your chair will come in. So even if balancing is something that you normally don't have an issue with, this is a little bit tricky. So for everybody, press down into your big toes. And then feel that, have a little bit of space in between your knees. If you're prenatal and your ankles are not crossed, press into the four corners of your feet. So big toe, pinky toe, both sides of your heels. Just feel that space pressing down against the ground. For those of us with our ankles crossed, press into your big toe, press into your little toe. Feel some space in your knees and feel a slight buoyancy in the knees, so the hips sink slightly back. Open your arms, feel your chest open wide. Now finding your thumbs in this position, feel your thumbs reaching towards the ceiling. As you breathe in, slowly lift your arms high. And then as you reach your arms high up overhead, just as when we started, start to find your thumbs in the air above your head. Feel your navel reaching in towards your spine. Feel your feet pressing down against the ground, fingertips reaching high. Again, notice what negotiations your body is doing right now. Is it trying to make your thoughts skid off in a different direction? Can you bring that back to this moment? Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, release your hands, sink your hips back. So we're taking a shallow chair sit. Reach your arms back behind you, finding a diagonal from your fingertips all the way up through the crown of your head. Keep pressing down into your big toes here. With each exhale, sink just a little bit deeper. With each inhale, find just a little more length between your fingers, all the way up through the crown of your head. As you press through your heels, reach the palms forward, press your hands down, deep inhale, lift high. Now as you exhale, lifting your right foot out from behind your left, sliding it all the way back to the back of your mat. And bringing your hands down towards your face. Now you can bring your foot as far back as is comfortable for you. If you need to be a little more shallow today, that's totally fine. Okay, just find the positioning that's comfortable for your hips where you are feeling a little bit of an opening. Taking your left hand, place that on the inside of your left thigh, reach your right arm out towards the side. Again, a little bit different. In typical warrior two, both of our arms are up. We're looking over our right shoulder, our left shoulder rather. I'd like you to look back over your right hand instead. Pressing into the blade of your right foot. Pressing down into your left foot. And now feel your thigh pressing against your left hand pressing back against your thigh. And then find your breathing. Find the bottom of your lungs on your inhale. Release out with an HA. On your exhale, feel your hips sink just a little bit deeper each time you breathe out. So the stability of your feet pressing down against the ground. And then slowly reach your left arm forward, past your knees. Lengthen your left leg, spin both toes toward the side of your mat. Press to the outside of your feet. Inhale, reach your arms high. Press your thumbs together. Find your thumbs in midair. Again, feel the trunk of your body reaching from your hips all the way from your fingertips. Navel reaches into the spine, hips slightly descend forward. On your exhale, taking this slight version of a warrior two in the opposite direction now. So bringing your hands to your hips, pressing down through your right knee. Pressing back through the blade of your left foot. Reaching your left arm behind you. Taking your right hand to the inside of your right thigh, looking back over your left finger. So we're encouraging this opening by pressing our hand against our thigh. Feel the thigh press back against that hand and feel into that connectivity between these two parts of the body. With each breath in, feel the trunk lift and lengthen. With each breath out, feel the hips. Feel your feet rooting down towards the ground. And notice what negotiations your body is asking of you right now. And to reach your right arm out past your right knee. Inhale deeply, press your foot through the floor to lengthen both legs, spin both toes forward. As you inhale, reach your arms high, press your thumbs together, find them in space. As you exhale, lower your hands to your hips. Look over your left shoulder to the top of your mat and heel toe your right foot up to meet your left foot. Slide your right foot back underneath. If you did that the first time, if you did not, hand or feet right underneath your knees. Slight bend of your knees. Inhale to reach your arms high up and overhead. As you exhale, we're going to take a forward fold. Now, if you're pre or postnatal, blood pressure, anyone using a chair, find the forward fold that we activated earlier. If you are working with your legs bent, you're not going to be able to go as deep. I want you to find the bend in your knees here. Feeling your torso spilling over, so we're targeting the outside of our hips here. Keep pressing into your big toes. Keep feeling your torso gliding over the tops of your thighs. Take a deep breath in and exhale. One more time. Deep breath in. Exhale. Press into your heels. Slowly begin to roll all the way up to stand. Roots the head, lift the arms, follow. Deep breath in, palms press this time. Exhale, hands to heart center. If your ankles are crossed, bring your ankles back underneath your hips. We'll switch the opposite side. A slight bend of your knees, and now slide your left foot behind your right. If you are pre or postnatal, continue to press your feet underneath your hips. Have your chair ready if you use the chair the first time. Open your palms towards the front of the room. Start to really feel the position of your thumbs reaching high. Taking a slight bend in your knees. On your next inhale, lifting through the thumbs, reach your arms high. Find the tips of your thumbs in space above you. Pressing down through your feet. The four corners of feet are underneath hips. If your ankles are crossed, pressing into your big toes, into your little toes. Feel the feet pressing down. Feel that slight space that happens in between your knees when you press through your feet. Fingers reach high. Navel reaches into the spine. Hip points reach up towards your elbows. Take another breath here. As you exhale, sink your hips back. Reach your arms back behind you. Shallower chair pose. Shoulders reach away from the ears, finding the diagonal from your fingertips all the way up through the crown of your head. Finding your breath, noticing what's negotiating here in your legs. This is not a typical position that we find ourselves in, whether your ankles are crossed or not. Can you breathe into this state? Can you find that state of neutrality and accept this just as a sensation, not good, not bad, just a sensation? Press down through your heels. On your next breath in, lengthen the leg, reach your arms high over. And on the exhale now, sliding your left foot back behind you. Bringing your hands to your hips. Right knee bends, left leg reaches back, press into the blade of the left foot, bringing the right hand to the inside of the right thigh. Reach the left hand out past the shoulder, look over your left finger. Again, finding that sensation. The right hand presses against the right thigh presses back into the hand, cultivating this openness through the inside of the thigh. With each exhale, feeling the hips descend a little further down towards the ground. With each inhale, filling the lungs completely, feeling the body activate and open. Another deep breath in. As you exhale, lengthen down through your left leg, put your toes forward. Inhale to reach the arms overhead. Press the thumb points together, move it a little faster to the side. Spin your left toes over. Exhale, move right into that variation. Pressing the left hand against the left thigh, look back over your right fingertips. Find that activation, hand to thigh, that power. Two opposing forces meeting in that space of neutrality. Each breath in, feel the trunk lift. Each breath out, feel the hips descend just a little deeper. Down to the left foot, inhale to press the foot against the ground, spin the toes over to the side of your mat. Inhale to reach both arms high overhead, press into the thumb points. Exhale, hands to your hips. Look towards the top of your mat, heel toe your left foot up to your hips. If you are pre or post meal, hips underneath the feet underneath your hips. Or slide the right foot back behind you, or left foot behind you. Slight bend of your knees. Reach the arms out, up and overhead. As you exhale, find your forward fold, either against the chair or down against the ground. Taking a generous bend of the knee. Feeling the torso lift out of the hips and roll down towards the ground. Keep pressing into your feet. Again, where's that negotiation? What's swaying? What's slightly trembling? Are your thoughts kicking in? Can you bring yourself back to this moment, back to the sensation? You are the point of neutrality. To press down into your heels. On your inhale, very slowly begin to rise all the way to stand. Into head lifts, arms follow, deep breath in, reach the arms high up and over. And exhale, hands to heart center. Bring both feet underneath the hips, will all meet to the top of the mat. Just sway the hips from side to side here. Bring a little bit of movement. Fold the knees a few times. And then we are going to move into tree pose. So a couple of different modes to get in here. If balance, again, if 1 foot balance is something that's challenging for you, your chair is going to come in handy. Just know that that's there for pretty much anybody. Anybody, if you need a wall, if you need a doorknob, anything you need to steady yourself, go for it. To begin, we'll start with our ankle, or pardon me, just our, what is this called? My heel, just against my ankle. If you know that you're going to be using the chair the whole time, bring your hand to your hip. Either side, doesn't matter right now. Okay? Now this is version 1. You can stay right here. This is a tree. If you'd like to move a little bit more towards balance, capital B balance, you can lift your foot away from the floor and press that against your calf. Okay, so this is version 2. Version 3, you can lift your foot up and over your knee and place that towards the inner part of your thigh. Okay, so those are our 3 spots. What we don't want is something in the middle. That'll do not create things for your knees. We want to avoid that. If this is too hard, this is too high, just bring your foot back down to your calf or back against the ground. Okay? So wherever you are, start to apply pressure from the sole of your foot into your standing leg, and then feel your standing leg pressing back into the sole of your foot. So again, we're finding the neutrality between these 2 opposing forces. If you're going to go for balancing fully on the one foot, bring your hands to heart center to begin. So to reach your arms out, feel into your thumbs, feel the position of your thumbs reaching towards the ceiling. And then as you press down through your standing foot, slowly begin to reach your arms high overhead, finding your thumbs. As you find your thumbs again, feel the torso zipping towards that sensation of your thumbs meeting. So all these opposing forces, your standing foot opposing, pressing down against the floor, or pressing back into your foot. Standing foot pressing into your leg pressing back into your standing foot, both thumbs pressing against each other. Find something to stare at also. It'll help to train your eyes if you have one point that you're able to focus on. And you'll feel yourself swaying. Can you allow yourself to exist in this state of imperfection? Take a few deep breaths. And then bring your hands onto your hips. Okay, continue to use the chair if you're utilizing the chair for balance. If your foot is down against the ground, bring your knee up. We'll all lift our foot away from our standing leg, taking your hand to hold the inside of your thigh. So again, this variation of warrior 2. Bring your hand to the outside of your thigh, hold your hips together, both hands to your hips. Press through your heel, lengthen through your leg. Take a deep breath in, however high your foot is, and then exhale to bring your foot down. Take a deep breath in, arms out, up and overhead, bend through your knees, sway through your hips, and exhale to heart center. Taking the opposite side. If you are using the chair, just turn around to the opposite side, you move the chair however you want to take the next side. Okay. And then we'll start with our opposite foot now, kickstanding against our ankle. Staying here in this version, maybe moving up to version 2. Maybe lifting the leg, moving up to version 3. Our bodies are not symmetrical, so one side may want a different thing. Just listen into what that is. Just making sure we're not doing anything like this, okay? Feel the standing leg pressing against the sole of the foot. Sole of the foot press against your standing leg. Feel your standing foot pressing down against the ground. The ground presses back up into the foot. Either choose to stay here, or begin to reach the arms out, up and overhead, Feel the thumb points. Feel them moving through space, moving towards each other. Press the tips of the thumbs together. Feel the torso zipping up from the sole of your foot up towards these thumbs. All of these different points of opposing forces, finding the space of neutrality. Deep breaths, feel your body sway, feel the imperfection, feel the neutrality in all of those definitions. Slowly exhale, bringing your hands to the hips. Continue to hold on to the chair. The chair has been moving with you through this pose. If your ankle and heel are connected, lift your leg down. Otherwise, lift your leg away from your standing leg, bringing your opposite hand to hold the inside of your thigh. Again, this warrior variation once more. Find that standing, find that opposing force of the foot against the ground. Taking your hand to the outside of your shin, outside of rather your thigh, hugging your hips closed. Now pressing your hands against your hip, leading with your heel, lengthening through your leg, however high it is. And then exhale to lower both legs down. Sway through the hips. Inhale, arms out, up and overhead. And as you take a slight bend of the knees, exhale to float the heart down, forward fold, either resting against your chair or down against the ground. And as you exhale, bending through your knees, coming to sit back down against the floor, reaching for your blanket once more. So we are going to make a formation, blanket, towel, whatever you've got with you, something where you're able to roll it up into some kind of long rope. Okay, so you don't want it to be too short. You'll see why. You may have to adjust. It's totally fine. Once you have your blanket in this construction, press the sole of your feet together and then place the blanket on top. Okay? So our knees are out, our soles of our feet are together. Find a comfortable diamond shape. So if you need to be a little bit further out, that feels better for your knees, better for your hips, go ahead and take that. Slide your heels inward until you find a comfortable place. Then what we'll do is take the outsides of that blanket and slide that underneath our heels. So what this does is, or rather underneath our ankles, this prevents us from hyperextending in our hips. Okay? Take your hands, rest them either on your shins or interlace the fingers around your toes. And as you exhale, we're going to do the opposite of whatever yoga pose is. We're going to round from our lower back all the way up through our spine. This is just a very easy resting pose. With each breath out, allow your body to sink a little bit deeper, your forehead to sink a little bit deeper towards your feet. Allow the ripples of your breath to glide your body forward. And with each breath out, releasing a little bit deeper. Then finding this space of neutrality between effort and ease. Pressing down through your sits bones on your inhale. Press your feet forward and begin to slowly lower back. If you're joining us in your prenatal, roll onto one side, place your blanket in between your knees. For the rest of us, roll onto your back. Bring your knees in towards your chest and bring this blanket right around your feet. Holding onto the ends of your blanket, inhale to lift your legs high. Feel the back of your skull resting down against the earth, the back of your hips. Feeling into your feet, lifting towards the ceiling. Your breath starts to slow. Your body starts to still. Your prenatal, stay exactly as you are. When you exhale, lower your knees, lower your legs. And begin to take your final resting pose of Shavasana. Do whatever you like with your blanket. Maybe that looks like putting the blanket totally over your body. Maybe that means just resting it over the tops of your thighs. Maybe that looks like taking the blanket back, sliding it underneath your head and neck. Let your breath come in easy, slow, and smooth. The space of neutrality, the space that is able to experience so many different things. Allowing the cultivation of this neutrality to remain intact, whether you're faced with something positive or faced with a challenge you never saw coming. So that you are the stage that all of this plays out on. You are the sky. The rest is just weather. Start to rock your head from side to side. Along the tips of your fingers, along the tips of your thumb. Flex through your feet, point through your toes. Glide your arms back past your head. Take a deep stretch in. And if you haven't already, roll over to one side. Pressing down against the floor, inhale to rise. Find a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to heart center. Being thankful, being mindful, being grateful for this space of neutrality that is you. Knowing anything that happens, anything you experience, can simply pass into one mode of understanding. And then continue to go on its way, like clouds moving over the sky. And with that, we bow to the space of the practice, we bow to each other, and we bow to ourselves. Namaste. So thank you all so much for joining again today. We are so happy to see so many of you coming back with us. This is awesome. We have our class on Friday. It is Harnessing Rest and Relaxation with Katie, same time, same place. And we hope to see you there. Have a great rest of your day.